Hey, what's up, guys? It's Chris Hammer here from Betr. Haven't done a video in a couple days. Watch until the end. I'm gonna drop some free plays. Also, had a couple bad beats this week. I want you to drop in the comments the worst beat in basketball you've had. I'm gonna go over a few on my betting recap here. Also want to cover, what you should look for in a sports betting handicapper if you're seeking out advice. I feel like there's an oversaturated market of people doing this now, so it's very confusing on who's what and who actually bets and stuff like that. Also want to go over a Super Bowl strategy, Super Bowl preview. I don't get carried away. I do and I don't. It's just a big game, good matchup. I don't believe in drilling the Super Bowl unless you're absolutely convicted. But I'll help you out on the early side, and then I'll give you more stuff on the day of the game. So, first things first, let's just do a betting recap. Basketball has been extremely tough. NBA has been extremely tough. The ratings are down, trades all over the place. And I think I learned my lesson this year, a life lesson. I've been doing this 20 plus years. I don't think I'm gonna touch NBA basketball until after All-Star break, when it gets serious. It's too friendly. Everyone's friends. There's not enough competition. I really just don't like how the league is nowadays. There's little pride, little defense. Teams take nights off. The injury reports are extremely scattered. I can't really catch a beat unless you have some obvious trends that are happening. And then as soon as the trend becomes, public knowledge, it changes. So, also had a free play yesterday. We'll start on the bad beats. These are fun, but not funny. So I did lose a lot of money. I did post it as a free play. I'm sorry, it is what it is. So we had, last night, I had Rhode Island money line. These motherfuckers are up 4 points with 20 seconds to go. They give up a 3, they're up 1. They get fouled, of course. They missed the front end of the 1-and-1. That guy was 8 for 8 from the line. Then they get a stop, of course, but they give up offensive rebound putback, and they end up losing the game. That was a max bet as well, so that one stung pretty badly. Also had a parlay miss because of Miles Bridges. He's just not reliable. He's a high volume shooter and he just doesn't hit his stats. I don't do a lot of player props that often. It was more for fun, but I still ended up losing because of him. Speaking of player props, this is more pertaining to the Super Bowl Sunday. If you like betting the over on certain player props, I'd encourage you to do it earlier, because these numbers are all going to move throughout the week. They're all going to raise up 1 to 2 points, 1 to 2 yards, 1 to 2 catches. They're very meticulous. And where I think sports are more manipulated and rigged are on player props. Anyone who tells me that sports are not rigged and manipulated, when you watch these games and you see how close their stat line is to the player props, it's sickening. Like when they blow over or go over, you'll see it, they'll go over by a decent amount. But when you miss it and you don't hit your player prop, it's like you have, Nikola Jokic over 25 points, he'll score 24, or it'll be 24.5 and he'll have 24. I've missed those by a half a point. I can't stand player props for that reason. But on Hard Rock app, you can manipulate it. So if you do like player props, and I have a lot of people that I know and talk to that love doing them, manipulate the line a little bit. So it's almost like a teaser strategy. But whatever especially let's just take NBA player props for points. Whatever their lines are, go down 5 points and then stack them together. That way, if you miss closely, you'll still hit it. So that's important to do. I know people that slam and smack player props. It's just not my thing. So I'm sorry, I'm not that guy for you. It's just not what I do. But if you're looking to do unders on player props for the Super Bowl or total, I would wait till closer to game time. The Super Bowl is one of the most publicly bet games. That is typically somewhere where I'd like to fade the public. So yes, does it work every time? No, but this is the time. So there's gonna be billions of dollars bet on this game. It's gonna be extremely rigged and manipulated, of course. What I've heard so far, this is not official, so take this with a grain of salt. And if you watch this video, please tune in on Sunday because a lot of this stuff can change. The betting markets are like anything else. Crypto, stock markets, everything's moving all the time. Steam money, sharp money, public money. But as of today, if I had to pick something, and I know this is a little bit reverse thinking, especially because it's inside and in a dome, but if I had to say something, I would say I do like the under. I like the under for a few reasons. They're nervous. It's a Super Bowl. A lot of Super Bowls, if you look in history, they start out extremely slow scoring. So in particular, I like the first half under even better than the full game. But I do like both. Reason is Kansas City has a great defense. So I think they'll be able to keep it in check. And I think both teams want to control the time of possession. Eagles are more of a time of possession type of team. And the Eagles defense is better than what people give them credit for. I mean, they've been holding teams under like 23, 24 points in most of their last games. Anytime touchdown or first touchdown, those are for fun. Not big on those. I might do one for fun, but as of now, I do like the under. I haven't picked a side yet. I don't see myself betting against Mahomes. I'd be more okay waking up on Monday morning knowing I lost money with Patrick Mahomes, who's like undefeated in one-score games. He's undefeated in a dome. You know, the three-peat. I just feel like the league wants him to win in the NFL. He's like the face of the NFL, so it makes sense. Not saying that he could lose, and it wouldn't affect him if he did lose. He's already lost the Super Bowl. But Mahomes and the Chiefs break history. I think people will pay more attention to the NFL. You know, you got the Taylor Swift effect. They want those fans to be engaged. The ratings are down on NFL. The ratings are down on NBA as well. We'll get back to the Super Bowl, but that's kind of my tips, early tips. I don't have a whole heck of a lot on that, but if you want to bet player props over, bet them now early. If you want to bet unders on player props or the under on the full game, bet it late. The public is going to bet these numbers all the way up. Every player prop will probably go up 1 or 2 yards, points, receptions, catches, whatever the case may be. Same with the total. It opened at 49.5, which is an under number to me. It's gone down to 48.5. I think it will go back up. You can get a better number. Teasers. I strongly suggest, and this has been the theme of this NFL season, if you want to bet the NFL Super Bowl safely and kind of slam it, I recommend teasing it. And you can tease it both ways almost and probably hit both. You know, for example, if you want to take the Chiefs, you know, +7, you can do like an 8-point teaser and then maybe tag it on the under 56. So Chiefs +8. Under 56 looks pretty good. I also like doing maybe the Eagles +8 and then maybe over, 41. So 2 different methods there. Whatever you like on the total, tease the total 7 points. Whatever you like on the side, tease it 7 points. And I think you could probably hit the teaser any which way that you go. I think these lines are extremely sharp and it's going to be within a couple points on the total and within a couple points. I mean, the spread is 1, so it's literally a pick'em game. So any teaser should have maximum safety there. I don't see any team winning by more than 7. Could I be wrong? Of course, but that's just how the spread is looking right now. As far as total, I don't think it gets out of hand either way. Super Bowls are normally close games, not exactly blowouts normally. So I think teaser is the smartest way to bet the Super Bowl and make money. And I think you're safe no matter how you cook those up. So cook up a teaser, 7 points at least on the side, 7 points at least on the over. Or the under, whichever you like. See what else we got.
Hey, what's up, David? What's happening?
NBA trades and rumors and all that stuff. The NBA this year has been probably the worst year I've ever seen it. It's a complete shit show. I kind of joke, but you're better off just betting the NBA money line dog. No matter what the situation is, any team can beat any team on any night. It is beyond bonkers. Teams will go down 20 points and end up winning. One of my jokes in my group chats is the first team to go down 20 is going to win the game. So even the Nuggets, they did it the other night. The Celtics came back on the 76ers the other night. I did catch that, but it was like plus like 600, dropped to like plus 450, and I caught it at like plus 210. It was a good live snipe, but I knew it was gonna hit because the line started rapidly dropping. So that was a good like telltale sign. But yeah, lay off the NBA, man. I don't care who you got. Maybe start picking it up after All-Star break, but save the bulk of your units and money for something else. Me personally, this has not been a great NBA season for me at all whatsoever. It's extremely unpredictable. The injury reports are crazy. Something I do want to go over is just the recent trade. So I have a theory on the trade. And this made absolutely no sense. So a lot of simulations graded the Luka AD trade a complete failure. It was like an F grade. Even people trying to do it on like the video games, NBA 2K, it said like it wouldn't allow it to go through on like AI. So the fact that the Lakers got a 25-year-old Luka, face of the league, and the Mavericks got like an injury-ridden AD is mind-blowing. But let me see what his age is. Oh, he's 31, so that's not terrible. But he is injury-prone. You know, Luka, who is probably one of the best players in the entire league, mind you, Luka took them to the finals last year. He's 25, international superstar. So I don't believe that trade was real. I believe it was a business decision amongst billionaires. And I'll break down what I think is going to happen. We'll see if this ages well or if it doesn't age well. I think, and you can look this up, Mark Cuban is the owner of the Dallas Mavericks. And you guys know I'm kind of a big conspiracy theorist. Mark Cuban, I believe he sold most of his stake. Mark Cuban sold the Mavericks. So Mark Cuban sold his majority stake in the Dallas Mavericks for $3.5 billion in late 2023. Now, the current Mavericks owners, and I don't know them by name, so bear with me here. Current Mavericks owners are the Adelson family and Patrick Dumont. The Adelsons, hopefully I'm pronouncing it right, are one of the wealthiest families in the United States and made their fortune in Las Vegas casino business. Interesting. Patrick Dumont, son-in-law of casino magnate Miriam Adelson, has been the Mavericks governor, the NBA's title for a team. Cuban was the previous governor. That's their title, that's what they call him. Dumont and the rest of the Adelson family purchased majority stake in the Dallas Mavericks from Mark Cuban in 2023. So, this is I'm telling you, just follow here. So, an extremely wealthy family who made their fortune in the casino business in Las Vegas, Nevada. Trades away their superstar and basically sabotages this whole team. Which what happens to this? You trade one of the best players for pretty much absolutely nobody, and these people are smart. They could have let other teams know that he was on the trading block. They could have got a lot more bang for their buck. I mean, they really didn't do well in this trade. This was one of the worst trades in probably NBA history, is what I've been told. But what I think is going to happen here is they are going to completely tank the Dallas Mavericks. Completely. The fan base is going to kind of fall out. Attendance is going to drop. They're going to start losing money. They have to create a false narrative. It's almost like the Cowboys, but the Cowboys are a totally different situation. But Dallas Mavericks, I think they're going to tank this team so bad that, like, Kyrie, I believe he wants to leave. Let me look. I heard that. Kyrie Irving. Let me see if there's trade rumors. Yeah, he says he misses his hermano. Let's see. This is from one day ago on ESPN. Poor Kyrie. I like Kyrie too. Yeah, I mean, I think Kyrie's going to get out of there. That team, in my opinion, is just going to freaking tank. But I do somehow, here's one of my free plays, I do somehow think they'll magically cover against Boston. Boston is a team that just robs people of money. It's in Boston. It's a 10-point spread. I don't know. I'm changing my betting strategies and methods. Expect the unexpected. Somehow the Mavericks cover. I don't know if Anthony Davis is playing. Let me look. Even with the injury reports, it doesn't even matter. It's 11.5 now. And Anthony Davis is not playing. Derek Lively's out. All right, maybe just avoid this, but watch it. Don't bet it, but just watch it. And Mavericks on a 3-game losing streak. Celtics on a 4-game win streak. Celtics beat the Dallas Mavericks a couple days ago by 15. Leave this game alone. Spread is 11.5 right now, but let's just see if it hits. This is what's called a lean. If I had to bet this game, I would take the Mavericks, but don't follow that one. Just pay attention to it. Okay, next. Back to my theory. I think they're going to tank the Dallas Mavericks. My fault. They're going to tank the Dallas Mavericks so bad that attendance drops, the money drops, and now you're going to hear rumors of them wanting to relocate. And guess where they want to relocate? Where the billionaire owners live. They live in Las Vegas. These guys would be pulling off a major business move if they could somehow get the Dallas Mavericks to relocate to the Las Vegas area. They need an NBA team there, and it will be super popping, trust me. Vegas definitely wants an NBA team. So that's my theory on that trade. That's the only thing that would make sense, because that trade doesn't make sense at all whatsoever. And maybe I don't know. I'm not sure. My other theory on this too, I mean, I guess there is some rumors about that, but that's my conspiracy theory, and I believe in conspiracy theories, especially in sports. What else? Also, I think that it is a passing of a torch. I think that LeBron James might actually win one now. I'm going to look up the futures odds, and I might even place this. NBA Finals. I could see like a Celtics-Lakers Finals again. NBA Finals championship odds. Let's see what they are. So Boston is plus 220. OKC's plus 230. So those are the two teams that they're really leaning on. Wow. This is a long shot. Lakers are 15-1, plus 1,500. The Nuggets are also plus 1,500, and I think that the Nuggets are pretty washed up. They're good at home, but there's something wrong with that team. However, I think you'll see Russell Westbrook turn it up come playoff time. That's kind of what he does. Cleveland Cavaliers are plus 700. So basically, from as we stand today, the futures market would suggest, which I know a lot of you place futures bets, that the NBA Finals will either be Boston versus OKC, and it'd be one of those two teams. I mean, they're both plus 220, plus 230. So no one else is even considered a chance. Kind of like Cleveland at plus 700 if they can do it. Might be their year. They look really good. I don't like placing futures bets because if a star player gets injured, it really sucks. But you got to place it early to get your good odds. So Cleveland at plus 700 is good. I like the Lakers as a long shot at plus 1,500. It might not be their first year, but they are now a contender. And LeBron and Luka, they're going to want to see them go far. I mean, the Rockets have really fallen off on this market. They're plus 4,000. Yeah, it's wild. They don't expect much of anybody. This is very telling. And you can almost use this to predict who's going to win games. It's like not every night, but it's a good indicator. Sorry, I was going to sneeze. Excuse me. My other theory is I think the passing of the torch of the most iconic player in the NBA, LeBron James, is going to literally pass his crown off to Luka at some point. And there was a tweet a few years ago about LeBron saying Luka was his favorite player. Somehow, magically, they pulled this trade off. I don't know why they traded Dalton Connect, though. That was a piece that I really liked. Not understanding that move at all. So, also a few other major moves. The Warriors have Jimmy Butler now. I think that's pretty interesting. So you got Jimmy Butler and Steph Curry on the same team, Draymond and Kuminga. They needed that, but I still think it's a stretch. Let me go back to these futures market and see what they're rated at. So Golden State is in that ballpark. I mean, they're plus 30. They're 33 to 1 to win the championship. So they're basically written off at this point in time. According to these odds, it's basically a stretch to even consider them to win. Let me check FanDuel and make sure all this stuff that I'm saying is accurate. Yeah. FanDuel's got Boston at plus 210, so that's pretty popular, and OKC at plus 230. They do have Cleveland at plus 650. That's the one that I do like. And then as far as other West Coast teams, they got the Knicks at plus 1,400. That ain't happening. Nuggets at plus 1,500. And they got the Lakers at plus 1,700. Pretty crazy. But very telling. There's not a lot of competition here, it looks like. I don't think you'll see that much surprises in the playoffs. I mean, according to that. The last segment of this video, I want to go over a few things about what you should look for in a sports handicapper or a service or a sports consultant. I also want to give you guys, there are a few people that reach out to me that want to become a sports handicapper or a sports consultant, and I want to give you guys kind of just tips on becoming one if you wanted to do that as a business. It's very stressful just because I have a conscious, I don't want to I shouldn't say that. I don't want to lose my own money as it is. I'm a sports bettor first, so I put a lot of money up. My number one priority in this space is for me to win money by betting itself. So I am considered a sharp bettor. I'm banned off of over 100 plus online sites and bookies. So it is what it is. I've also been restricted and limited by certain casinos all over the United States. So my betting has been more and more challenging just to get the bets in and get paid out. So unfortunately, my career might have to shift just with that alone. It's very, very difficult for me to place bets at certain places. And we're not talking small casinos. I mean, even Hard Rock is starting to limit me on certain basketball stuff. I tried to place a $10,000 wager the other night, and they only would accept like $800. And what's crazy to me, I know every casino and website has a risk management team, but I haven't even been winning like that too crazy the last couple of weeks. So I'm like, where the hell did this come from? And what do you guys know? They just don't want the action. I have no idea why. I can't even put my finger on it. And I haven't even really cleared out or cleaned out Hard Rock on a lot of money. I mean, I've been losing the last couple of weeks. So that is mind-boggling, beats me. So I might take a different angle in sports betting altogether. Just with that, it's made my life extremely difficult, not having access to all these accounts where I can lay and place bets the way I want to. The only place that's pretty much left for me is maybe a relocation back to Las Vegas. And even there, they'll still eventually do the same things. Platforms will do the same things. I had issues with William Hill before. I've had issues with FanDuel before. You name it. You win a little bit, you start, snapping on some stuff, and you're onto something. I mean, they're quick to limit you, and they're quick to kind of get you off the platform. So I'm wanting to branch out and become more of an advisor and help people get into the space however they would like to, whether you want to be a consultant, a sports bettor. That's the whole purpose of my name and company, is becoming a better bettor. But yeah, I mean, the whole goal is really to help clients make money. There's an art and science to it. It requires in-depth research and analysis. Whether you're a beginner or you kind of understand handicapping, the right people can really up your game. They'll make you better. So I have a lot of people, and this is what kind of fulfills my life purpose for me, is they'll go through one of my programs, they'll get the picks, and I try to give breakdowns of why we're picking what we're picking. And when they win, they understand, okay, now I see what you're seeing and how you saw it and how you kind of figured that out. And then it gets you to think differently. So that's one thing. But you got to prepare for a lot of things. This is a tough industry, tough gig. You start losing a couple days in a row or a couple weeks in a row, people switch up on you real quick. Not only can you lose money fast, it's easy come, easy go, but you can lose clients fast. You can lose your reputation fast. Doesn't matter how long you've been in it. So the mentality and the mental aspect is another thing that I try to prepare people, so you can go from a casual bettor or maybe a losing gambler to a winning one. So it takes a lot of watch time. You got to watch a lot of games. You got to learn how to code and scrape data. There's building models and years of experience of actually doing it. So, at its foundational core, sports handicapping, it's really just using the available information to predict an outcome of a sporting event. It's not guessing. I'd say 90% of what you see on X and social media, there's a lot of guessing, man, but it's informed decision making based on trends, research, analysis. It takes the guesswork out of betting. The whole goal is just to increase, and our aim is to increase the probability of winning and success. So if you want to improve, you got to focus on your accuracy. I slow down the volume. The more games you bet, I consider the board like betting on a hot stove. More times you touch the stove, more times you can get burned. You cannot spot that much value in multiple games in one day. It doesn't exist. There's 1 or 2 games, 3 games that have some value. Other than that, everything else, I'm not really seeing how people bet 5, 10, 8. People do 8, 10 team parlays daily, It's all about making an informed, educated decision that is more based on analytics, data, numbers, rather than just luck. Once you kind of understand how to risk your money and with the odds, you can have a higher success rate. And you need to stick around lower odds. So one thing that makes me different, or something that you should be able to spot right away, if they are giving out, I don't care who it is, and there's people that have bigger followings than me, there's people that have a bigger social media presence than me, and I have a phenomenal following and social media presence, they give out games. I mean, people are paying these people $500 to $1,000 to $2,000 for a game. I've seen it all the way at negative 260, meaning you gotta lay $260 to win $100. You gotta lay $2,600 to win $1,000. And I've seen those games lose. Anything above juice, or what's known as VIG, of minus 120, the most, absolute most, and this is if you've got a bigger bankroll, you can do negative 160, negative 150. And that's pushing it. You don't want to bet like that every day. Here's why. If you lose, it's like losing 1.5 games. If you lose at like a negative 110, or you pick only plus money, you can go 6 out of 10 and be profitable. If you lose negative 150s, negative 160s, you got to hit 7, 8 out of 10. It's a lot different. And just because those odds are a little bit more juiced, a lot of people, I think, over-analyze the odds. Negative 135, negative 130, negative 140 even. Those are damn near pick'em lines. So don't get wrapped up in the favorites. A lot of people really make mistakes by that. And there was a popular soccer handicapper, who I will not mention her name, but I've got a lot of clients off of Use of Thank You, that bets like negative 175s and negative 180s. And the guy is always preaching and, kind of touting that, I'm on like a 20 and 7 win streak. Well, if you do the mathematics and you're losing negative 180s, that's like almost losing 2 times every time you lose. So he's like barely profitable, if that. So I'm not a big fan of anyone that bets heavy favorites, especially when they're juiced. So keep that in mind when you're looking at anybody outside of me. Other benefit to what I do, I try to do that work for you. Like, people want to shop around different handicappers. People want to shop around different guys that sell picks, blah, blah, blah. I do the shopping around for you because I run a betting syndicate group, meaning anybody who's anybody in sports betting, I probably know who they are, and I probably have their information already. A lot of you are in a lot of these handicapper chats or handicapper free chats. I think a lot of those people in there suck, and I think it's an overload of information. It's information overload. There's even a saying. It's knowledge is not only power, but sometimes overpowering. Today, people are draining. There's a danger in drowning in information. There's information anxiety. There's just information overload. I don't care about what handicappers are on. I used to more and more and more. 80-90% of them suck. They're not even worth paying attention to. Now, the ones that really, 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 really suck, and I won't name any names, but if you follow me on social media, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. I am interested to see what he's on, because that guy loses about 80% of the time, and I got a few of those. So if they're extremely terrible, they're worth paying attention to, literally. You don't want to be on the side that they're on. So that's one. If they're really, really good, I probably know who they are, and I probably have their picks and their information. And through my services, you're probably already getting a taste or a sliver of them. So what I ultimately do is I'm like a big data scraper, and my job, and it's been a little brutal the last couple weeks, Because I have the winners already. I get sent, let's just say, 3 to 5 plays after I condense and condense and condense all the information I have, plus my own. I have the responsibility of picking the best value or the best game. I like to do that typically when there's what's called overlap, or a lot of people are on the same game as me. So if I'm on a game and one of my other couple sources are on a game, that's where I feel like it's max bet worthy. That's where I came up with the max bet term. And I've had extremely good success with those max bets over the course of the last 2 years. That is what I'm ultimately known for. So I'm not really in the market of shopping new handicappers. I give them a chance. I've networked with a lot of them. They'll send me their plays. I don't really care too much just because it's a marathon. So even with the little dip I've taken the last couple weeks, I always withstand the test of time. My system over the course of a month is going to outperform most that I know. If there's anyone who's better than me, I am humble enough to not only get their information, I will also give it to you guys and bet it and use it myself. So I'm not stingy with that. Remember, my ultimate goal is to make money from sports betting. That is my number one passion, purpose, and priority. So I sell information on the side, but it's also more of a collective group where we pool our money together to access the best information possible. So it's not just like a profit machine, where I'm making a ton of money off the sports picks. Some people think that it is. Not really the case. I used to spend a lot more money. Let's just use last year, for example, and it was a waste of my money and people's money. So I toned it down, and I got the people that I like, and that's kind of where your money goes to. I used to spend upwards of $1,000 to $2,000 a game sometimes, and it didn't actually necessarily equate to success. So it's important to deliver the best value information I possibly can without overdoing it. What's also cool is I've got probably, in my opinion, what I appreciate the most is I have the absolute best clients. They're positive mindset, they learn how to win, they learn how to lose, they improve, they stop parlaying. Many of them get better, they learn the discipline, and because we have bets every day or every other day, and you do not have to bet every day. I prefer to do it just because it keeps me sharp. I like to get the repetitions in and keep the reps up, and you stay in the flow of a betting state of flow. So, but what I don't like about betting every day is there's 1 or 2 days in a week that go absolutely bonkers, batshit crazy backwards, where you lose no matter what the hell you do. It's just an upside down type of day where crazy shit happens. Speaking of crazy shit, drop in the comments below the worst bad beats you've had, and I'm gonna give you a couple, and these are just to make you laugh, even though it's not funny. I had 2 parlays this year lose off of half-court shots. Minnesota versus Michigan. Michigan, I believe, had to win. Minnesota hits a half-court shot to win. I lose my parlay. Boo-hoo. But it sucked. I was pissed. I'm like, what the hell? But then I'm like, second thought, if you have to hit a half-court shot to beat me, I'm okay with that. Next, Arizona hits a half-court shot to tie it up with Iowa State and win in overtime. Also kills a big parlay that I had. And I'm not a big parlay guy, but I just started doing it probably this past year. My bankroll is a lot bigger, so I'm starting to fire, $500 and $1,000 parlays. And I've hit quite a few too. So overall, I'm probably down on those, but when you do hit them, it is a nice pump. You'll hit 8 or 9 or 10 grand on a parlay, which is cool, but not the main focus. My other bad beat, last night we talked about Rhode Island being up 4, 20 seconds to go, somehow lose. So drop in the comments below your worst bad beat of the season, or drop your worst bad beat you've ever had sports betting. We can share our pain together. Oh yeah, I owe you guys some free picks. Before I end this, let's give you a few free picks. I'm gonna give you a couple leans too, so I'm trying to tread lightly, so I apologize. But I do like the Dallas Mavericks. But I did hear Anthony Davis is not playing. that kind of puts a wrench in my game. I do like the plus 11.5, but lay off of that one. I think Luka is debuting today. And they're playing the Warriors. The Warriors have looked extremely shitty. Let me see if Jimmy Butler's playing tonight. I don't think he is, but what do I know? Let me see. Is Jimmy Butler playing tonight? I feel like he won't, but you never know with this shit. Okay, so most likely Jimmy Butler is not playing, but he's going to travel with them against the matchup versus the Bulls. And I think they'll smack the Bulls because he's from there and he'll have a good game. I'm excited to see that though. I've been kind of a bandwagon Warriors fan since they made the super team. I'm not a huge LeBron James fan. However, I like LeBron more and more as he got older and as his career has gone on. And I think what he's doing is extremely impressive. And I've learned to like him and respect him more and more and more as time has gone on. And that's pretty crazy coming from me. But like the peak, it's weird. I have like a love-hate with LeBron. Like I really, really loved LeBron when he played for the Miami Heat. And I feel like that was his like pinnacle hunger and defense, and he played his hardest and best when he was playing with D Wade, and he used to play a lot of really good defense. I mean, he's had really like epic performances against the Pistons before. I don't know, he's a tremendous player, so I don't want to get in the LeBron debate, but also mind you, I was in the era of like the LeBron versus Kobe, who's better. Oh yeah, drop in the comments, who do you think's better, LeBron James or Kobe Bryant? And also tell me why. So I want to know, do you like LeBron better or do you like Kobe better, and why? I personally think Kobe's a lot better player, but RIP, but that's just me. But I do appreciate what LeBron's done and how he's like kept it going because like we're similar in age, and I'm like, yo, my back hurts and my Achilles is snapped, and my body doesn't work like his. And he spends a couple $1,000,000 on his body every single year, and I think it's very impressive that he's playing at an extremely high level. So, what was I looking up? My fault. Golden State tonight. See, this is a thing. I kind of like Golden State to cover. They haven't been doing a lot either, but this is a lean as well. Just track these two. I like the Mavericks and I like the Warriors +7. I will give you a free play here. Just hang on. This is a max bet, but I'm going to tell you why. Let me look up something really quick before I let this fly. Man, I'm always thirsty during these. It's like I'll lose moisture, so I'm out of water. But this is the best water on the planet, guys. Mountain Valley spring water. Okay. Gotta look up something real quick. Sorry. It would be a lean. Almost like the Dallas Mavericks Boston under. I'm gonna give you a couple. Houston Timberwolves, I love that under 215. Boston Dallas under 229.5. Orlando Denver, I'm going unders tonight, under 221. I like this one too. Lakers Warriors under 222. I think it's a crazy under day. Here's where I'm at. Here's the play though. Here's the play that I like the most. And I think this team grabs some momentum. So one of my favorite players is Zach LaVine. And Zach LaVine is reunited with DeMar DeRozan. And this team chemistry has been off since DeMar DeRozan is a half-court player, and he did not play well with De'Aaron Fox. That trade definitely needed to happen. However, I'm a big De'Aaron Fox fan. He's one of my favorite players. I'm happy for him, and I think he'll do extremely well with the Spurs, and I think they'll get really exciting, and they've got a really good young core. Who else did the Spurs have? Let me see their starting five now. I mean, they put it together. All right, well, Chris Paul is extremely washed up. I've never been a big fan of Chris Paul, so sorry, point guards. De'Aaron Fox is playing the 2. Yeah, they got a lot of work to do still. My bad. I kind of overjumped. I mean, they got Wemby and De'Aaron Fox, basically. I really like Harrison Barnes. How old is this man? Damn, he's 32. Harrison Barnes I've always liked. I don't know, he's just really good. I like Harrison Barnes and I like Andrew Wiggins, like those type of players. Extremely underrated. You know, they're long, tall players, athletic. But here is my official free play of the day. Now, don't hate me for this one, and I do like it, but here we go. So, you gotta understand how Vegas works and operates. Okay? It's all about reading what the line is telling you. One of the hottest teams right now. Who do you think I'm gonna say? They've been upsetting everybody, beating everyone, especially at home. You're not gonna believe it, but the Portland Trail Blazers are extremely hot. They are on fire hot. Let me see how hot they are. Portland Trail Blazers. They're on a winning streak, and I think they're on a crazy... they're on a 5-game win streak. And I think they're on a crazy against the spread streak. Let me just see here. They've been just cleaning up, but that's only when the sports books need them to. One moment. I just want to see who's the top ATS team. I guarantee they're up there, though. Let's go ATS trends. Okay, best teams to cover. I'm going to give them to you, and they're in the top 5 here. Memphis Grizzlies are the #1 covering team at 66%. Cleveland Cavaliers, 64%. OKC, who let me down big time, 63.8%. Clippers, 60%. And number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, Portland Trail Blazers. They are now 60% on the spread at 30-20. Teams you should not bet on. Ones I can't stand. Phoenix Suns are the worst team in the NBA to bet on. I've said that in previous videos. If you do a little research in history, I've been saying that the Suns are terrible. I've also been saying that the Boston Celtics are terrible to bet on, and Washington, and the T-Wolves. These guys just all suck. But one of my favorite betting teams historically also sucks, and I do like this team for tonight. I'm going to give my free play as... You know it's on this game. I'm just doing one more thing here. Hang on. Holy smokes, these guys are hot. I'm going to take the Sacramento Kings money line tonight. Here's why. It makes no sense, but let me tell you why. Portland has won 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 out of their last 10. Hottest team in the NBA. They've won 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 straight at home. They're at home again. Sacramento, they need to start winning and covering games. Portland has a good ATS cover rate. This doesn't mean this is going to happen. But why is the hottest team in the NBA, who's won 9 out of the last 10, and they've covered 10 of their last 10, which I'm extremely pissed off because if you could have caught this trend, you could have done like a $100 or $1,000 to $1 million challenge. If you just doubled up your bet each time and took the Trailblazers 10 straight games, but who's crazy enough to do that? So the common theme and common denominator of why I like the Sacramento Kings tonight. One, Zach LaVine is back with De'Aaron Fox. I think these guys are going to start. Let me see what their starting five looks like. I always love Sacramento, man. They're just one of my favorite betting teams. They've been really good to me. I know their spots. That's why. I follow them, and I've always followed them. They're a very good betting team. Sacramento Kings starting five. Let's take a look. And they just have younger talent here. So, I like the starting five. Check it out. We've got Malik Monk at the 1. He can score. Dude, this is a dynamite squad right here. I will start betting. Here's my free gem. I'm going to start betting on the Kings. They have a terrible cover rate this year. And all the numbers in the stars line up tonight. I'm gonna upgrade it. I'll upgrade it here live on YouTube. I'm confident. I don't win all the time. I gave out a free play loser yesterday. That's okay. But I'm not afraid to lose. I'm not afraid to look, like humiliated in this. Been doing this for years. You're gonna win, you're gonna lose. But I'm going to upgrade the Sacramento Kings here to a max bet. Here's why. A lot of the money's on the money line of Portland. Portland's hot. Public's catching on. This is beautiful. I love it. So we've got, and I feel like people are going to pay attention to this game. We've got 62% of the bet percentage, according to my statistical data, on the money with Portland. We've got 67% of the report that I'm reading on the money with Portland money line. Now, here's where it gets crazy. So this could be a complete wipeout here. 88% of the bet percentage is on Portland -1, and 90% of the overall money bet is on Portland. So this game could be a public bloodbath. They're hot. They're on their streak. Who fades a team that's won 9 out of their last 10, and they've covered 10 of their last 10? I'm that guy. I'm that guy that fades stuff like that. You know why? Because once people start catching on and betting the trends, they start losing them. Once a trend is a trend, it's time to get off of that trend. You gotta find the trend before it becomes a trend. Understand? It's too late. This trend has already happened. It's bound to end. It's bound to change. They're not gonna the Portland Trailblazers at the end of the day, they suck. They're not gonna just rip off 20 straight games. So, and guess what? All of those circumstances in the last 10 games actually favored Portland. Like they're beating some good teams. They beat the Suns twice. But yeah, back to their starting five, and then I'll get back to Portland. Malik Monk at the 1, Zach LaVine at the 2, DeMar DeRozan at the 3, Keegan Murray at the 4, and Sabonis at the 5. And then off the bench, they got Keon Ellis, they got Trey Lyles. They had Valanciunas, which I also liked, but their bench is a little weak. But I like Keegan Murray too. They got some guys that can put up some points. Straight up. Let's take a look at Portland real quick. I don't know how they put this together. I know they got some young guys. Let's just take a look and analyze who they've beaten in the last 10 games and why this has happened and who's been stepping up here. I'm gonna look at all this stuff for you. So this is live in-depth analysis and betting analysis for you guys. So the whole betting world is taking the completely on fire Portland Trailblazers. I love the Sacramento Kings in the spot. gotta understand how Las Vegas works, right? We all know that Portland's hot. Holy shit, they've climbed up to 4th, I think, and they're climbing the ranks. Okay. Give me a second. Trying to pull this up here. So they're basically, I mean, never mind. They're not climbing the ranks. They're 3rd to the bottom at overall worst teams. Yeah, they've won 5 straight, 9 out of the last 10. Whoop-de-doo, Basil. Grand scheme of things doesn't mean a whole lot. Okay, so let's just get over their little win streak. Remember, they still suck. They're still the Portland Trailblazers. Okay. All right, sorry. I finally got the results here. I'm going to read off to you what happened. So this unbelievable win streak actually happened after a losing streak where they lost from December 30th to January 18th. I mean, they lost 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 out of 10. And they beat Milwaukee somehow in Milwaukee and beat the Pelicans. So not much going on there. As far as their wins, their first game of their win streak, they had, this is perfect. This has everything that I need. They beat Chicago Bulls at home, not a big deal of an opponent. They beat Miami on the road, not a big opponent. They beat the Magic, who have had their fair share of injuries. Looks like Scoot Henderson led the scoring. Anthony Simmons led the scoring a couple games. Denny Avdija led the scoring. And even DeAndre, you could have predicted this, so let's keep going. They beat the Hornets, not a big win. They lost to the Thunder, of course, as they should at home. They beat the Bucks again. The Bucks are really starting to tank and fall off. That one doesn't surprise me. They beat the brakes off the Magic again twice, so they kind of have their number, plus the Magic aren't healthy. And then they beat the Suns twice, back-to-back at home, and DeAndre Ayton was the leading scorer in both. He used to play for the Suns, a little motivation factor. And then they just beat the brakes off of the Pacers. So they're about to go on a crazy road trip. So this is going to come to an end. This is crazy. I'll predict the future for you. But in the next few games, they've got 3 road games. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And they got a 7-game road trip coming up in the beginning of March. They're going to start losing again. And I think they lose tonight. I think this is the start of their tanking. So I hope they enjoyed their little 9-game out of 10 win streak. But all things that go up must come down. Also, let's do a little bit of line analyzation, right? Sacramento, bunch of changes, bunch of roster moves. Fox is gone. They haven't been doing well, but now that they've got a brand new team, brand new chemistry, a brand new superstar. Their starting 5 is strong. Let me go back to Portland's starting 5 real quick. And I want to see what they got going on. 1 second. Starting 5, Portland Trail Blazers tonight. This is where I get confused because I don't think they're all that great. Anthony Simmons, he's a young guy. He's pretty good. He averages 18 a game. 25-year-old. He's a beast. I give him his flowers for sure. This guy, Toumani Camara from Dayton, 6'7", averages 10 a game. I don't know enough about him, but young guy, doing well. So, young team. This guy has been balling too. He's good on props. Denny Avdija, I don't know how to say his name, but he was a first-round draft pick. He's young too. So, I mean, these guys are all 24, 25. And then their power forward is just kind of washed up Jeremy Grant. He's averaging 15 a game too, so I shouldn't even say that he's washed up. He's just the oldest. And then DeAndre Ayton, and he's doing 14 and 10 a game, and he's young too. I mean, they've got a good core nucleus for sure, but let's check out their bench. Donovan Clingan, guy out of UConn, rookie 7-footer. good big body, but not really putting up much stats. Chris Murray from the Kings. I thought he used to play for the Kings, but he's not doing a whole lot. So this guy's underachieving, 4 points a game. What the hell? So he's kind of underachieving for sure. Shadon Sharp out of Kentucky. Yeah, they got just a young team. I mean, he was averaging 17 points a game. Crazy. So he does his thing too. They got a young team, but that's good. And then Scoot Henderson, also a first-round draft pick. I mean, the average age of this team is like 21 to 24. So, I mean, it's like a college-age team. So they can recover well and play well, and they're probably a little bit more durable and have more endurance. But the reason why I like the Kings tonight, I didn't go through the betting side of it. It's basically a coin flip game. It's -1 +1. So I feel like the general public is going to, jump all over Portland in their win streak. And Vegas has this as a coin flip game. And all the public, if Portland wins or covers, the sports book's got to pay out all the money on that. And it's extremely lopsided. Now, I didn't check the other games, but if the Kings win, Las Vegas, profits, and all the sports books profit tremendously. So we're just keeping it simple here. This is a pretty big public fade spot. And I think a lot of people are getting caught up in that recency bias of like their past win streak, when ultimately that's got to flip at some point. And I think it's going to start flipping tonight. So hopefully I'm right. And hopefully you guys win money. So let me check out one more thing here. So I did say it's a free play, and I also did say it's a max bet. So I want you to bet it 5 times what you normally would bet. I would put up on this game. This is the most lopsided game with spread and money line. This is what I look for. This is what I would say that you should hammer. So Kings money line it is. We'll see you on the other side. Drop your comments on who's better, Kobe or LeBron James. Go to my website, just look at it, betr.com. If you want to take your betting to the next level, hit me up. I am on Instagram, High Limit Hammer. Check out a package, try me out. I'm going to help you win your bankroll. I'm extremely understanding and fair to new people. I will give you a nice discount on your first package, just so you can kind of see how things operate in my Telegram community. Also drop who you like, better Kobe or LeBron. I don't know if I just said that. And drop your worst betting beat that you've ever had. I'll continue to drop videos. Pay attention. I will give you a Super Bowl update on probably Saturday or Sunday. I got invited to a Super Bowl party that should be pretty cool. But other than that, let's start our own win streak and get hot and get back on the right side of things. Love you guys. God bless. We'll talk soon.